Dog's feeling it. Not afraid of that cat at all. American Night Owl is filmed before a live webcast audience. True story. Yeah, hey everybody. Welcome, bienvenue, welcome. Un cabaret. Un cabaret, un cabaret. There's gunk in my mouse. All right, there you go. Just me. Hey. I just had a lot of reverb on my voice. All right, wait, I gotta mute myself for a second so I can fix my iPad. I have to crank it up way loud to fix it. So it's like actual cobwebs in the machine. Hold on. Okay. Now it's working. Now it's working. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's working. Oh, gosh. Is there any news? That was an accident, but I'm sure something happened somewhere. Wait, where is the... There it is. Oh, hi, for long-time viewer, first-time host. Don't even know what my voice is yet. I don't know what my name is. I don't know who I am. And I'm an owl in the middle of the night. I know that much. Let's see. Just going through the headlines, Dude, what? You're kidding me. Hey, Wilbur, check this out. Check this out, everybody. So apparently Bruce Springsteen pled guilty to drinking tequila in a national park. Yeah. Let me say that again. Bruce Springsteen. He's been fined $540 after pleading guilty to consuming alcohol in a national recreation area. Springsteen was also charged with reckless driving and driving under the influence, but those two charges were dropped on Wednesday, with the government saying it would not be able to provide sufficient evidence to prove them. Now, appearing in a black jacket and sweater over a collared button-up shirt, the 71-year-old rock icon was calm, cordial, as he acknowledged consuming the alcohol in the park despite knowing it was illegal. Bruce! What? Ha! 71 years old, drinking tequila in a national park. You know you're not supposed to do that, Bruce. But who's the boss, right? Huh? Who's the boss? Well, the judge said it wasn't until 2 summers ago that drinking in the Oceanside Park has been considered a violation of the law. I mean, it was on the books, but no one really. I mean, come on. What you gonna do? Just sit there and stare at the water? You just sit and stare at the water? Is that what we're up to? Okay, let's just go sit and stare. Oh, you have some tequila? Well, we better not drink it. No, not not here. Not at the Oceanside Park. Well, apparently when he was riding his motorcycle at the time, when they gave him a breathalyzer test, he was like .02. The limit there's like .08. He was way under. So, $540. The judge asked him how long he would need to raise the money for the fine. And Bruce said, I could probably pay you that right away. Judge gave him a week. You got a week, Bruce. Bruce, who's the boss now? You got a week. $540. Cough it up. Oh, we're coming to get you. Now who's the boss? See what happens if you don't pay that. All right. Back at you. That was fun. Shit, give me something else. What you got? Break some news. I'll make some news. Tell you what, I'll make some news. You break it. Deal. Done. All right. Well, I guess we have a new late night anchor man. I wonder what his name is. That's pretty exciting. Fixed his nose. He no longer loses his nose in the green screen. Yay! Yep, back to business as usual. Twiddling our thumbs in the middle of the night, trying to make each other laugh. Trying to blow our own minds. Woo. Let's go now. Feeling all right. Wednesday, hump day. We got it. Got to the top of the mountain. All I found was the way back down. I'm working on a pretty fun edit. So far it's like 12 minutes long. A little mini, the making of Holler and Hope montage. It was fun putting it together. I think it's going to be good. I know it's probably too long for people's attention span, but on the other hand, it's a really short documentary. It's like a super short feature-length documentary on the most revolutionary record of 2021. It's like, oh my God, it's like 12 minutes long. Oh my God. It's forever long. It's so long. Jump cuts, man. Jump cuts. Jump cuts. Jump cuts. There's so many long pauses during last night's show. Like that. But really. No, really. But it was cool, you know. It was a stillness. It was a contentedness. It was just like, whatever, you know, just hanging out. What's going on? Take me to dreamland, brother. Okay, everybody, we're going to put Moody to bed. All right, Moody. Should I read you a story? How about I read you a story? What do we got? Should I be completely unprofessional and read something that I've never read before? There's some short ones in this book. This is Ray Bradbury's The Illustrated Man. We got to tuck Moody in. I think I'm just still trying to imagine that puppet's name. Good evening, everyone. Good to see you, Ona. Good to see you, Arno. Arno and Ona, you guys could have a show on Hippie Fiasco Rides Again television. Have a feeling. I just go live on Discord and argue about whether the tuba should be in that song or not. Any song, you pick the song. We pick the song. You guys argue whether there should be tuba in it or not. You always have to disagree. That's the whole angle. That's the show. Arno and Ona. Ona and Arno. Arno. Started WandaVision last night. Okay, all right. Took me a few, of course. You knew it would. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, so is it ridiculous? Should I not read a story out of this? Is it too soon? Too soon? People logging off, running for the hills, heading for the fast lane. Beelining for the fast lane. God, are my eyes even... Well, let's see here, kids. Oh, see, I haven't read this yet, so there's probably like a ton of dialogue, and I'll get all weird and won't be able to do it. We'll just read a little bit of it, and then we'll to be continued. Maybe we'll keep returning. We'll read the story throughout the course of the show, even though it's not that long. Oh, this is called 0 Hour. Oh, it was to be so jolly. What a game. Such excitement they hadn't known in years. The children catapulted this way and that across the green lawns, shouting at each other, holding hands, flying in circles, climbing trees, laughing. You know, I just gotta say, the sound children make is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's amazing. It's horrible. Just like screaming, top of the. That's the way they all do it. Listen to a playground, and I guess adults do that at like sporting events, but kids are always in that when they're playing. They are They are in the sport of life. They are cheering on the sport. They are freaking out. They are, I mean, and if one person starts chasing another person, just the sounds, I hear it out there, and I'm just like, wow. Sometimes, if people were doing that, if grown-ups were doing that, just running around the field across the street or something, screaming at the top of their lungs, you would think it was some new age therapy thing or something. Be like, huh, I guess that's like some new age therapy. Either that or it's the insane asylum's recess. All right, where were we? Oh yeah. Kids were all flying in circles, climbing trees, laughing. Exactly, climbing. They're out there just climbing trees, screaming at the top of their lungs. If we were doing that, I was about to say the world would be a better place, but who knows? That's probably not. I don't want to see you screaming at the top of your lungs, climbing every tree. But, it's got to be a happy medium. All right, overhead, the rockets flew. Oh, change of pace. And beetle cars whispered by on the streets. But the children played on. Such fun, such tremendous joy, such tumbling and hearty screaming. Hearty screaming. See, I haven't read this. Mink ran into the house, all dirt and sweat. For her 7 years, she was loud and strong and definite. Her mother, Miss Morris, hardly saw her as she yanked out drawers and rattled pans and tools into a large sack. Heavens, Mink, what's going on? The most exciting game ever, gasped Mink, pink-faced. Stop and get your breath, said the mother. No, I'm all right, gasped Mink. Okay, I take these things, Mom. But don't dent them, said Miss Morris. Thank you, cried Mink, and boom, she was gone like a rocket. Miss Morris surveyed the fleeing tot. What's the name of the game? Invasion, said Mink. The door slammed. In every yard on the street, children brought out knives and forks and pokers and old stovepipes and can openers. All right, to be continued. Dun-dun. Oh. The game's called Invasion.
American Night Out.
Whew. All aboard, I swore I heard, swear I went to serve the Lord. Got lost, wound up where I was before. I heard them say, all aboard, well I'm ready again. When's the next train to heaven? Dream of peace, wake up at war, wake ceiling and the floor, trying to imagine loving with the thrust of a sword. For a while I didn't even believe anymore. Now I'm ready again. When's the next train to heaven? Yeah, everything's changed, but it all stays the same. As heart to heart, we tried to explain what life might be like without the pain. I freed my dream, still my dream remains. Well, I'm ready again. When's the next train to heaven? Now I think all the circuses understand that a few of the king's horses, a few of the king's men always have been and always will be at her command. And as we lie beside her, that's where we make our stand. Well, I'm ready again. When's the next train to heaven? It was an interesting fact that this fury and bustle occurred only among the younger children. The older ones, those 10 years or more, disdained the affair and marched scornfully off on hikes or played a more dignified version of hide and seek on their own. Meanwhile, parents came and went in chromium beetles. Repairmen came to repair the vacuum elevators in houses, to fix fluttering television sets, or hammer upon stubborn food delivery tubes. The adult civilization passed and repassed, the busy youngsters jealous of the fierce energy of the wild tots, tolerantly amused at their flourishings, longing to join in themselves. This and this and this, said Mink, instructing the others with their assorted spoons and wrenches. Do that and bring that over here. No, here, Ninny. Right, now get back while I fix this. Tongue in teeth, face wrinkled in thought, like that, see? Yay, shouted the kids. 12-year-old Joseph Connors ran up. Go away, said Mink straight at him. I want to play, said Joseph. Can't, said Mink. Why not? You just make fun of us. Honest, I wouldn't. No, we know you. Go away or we'll kick you. Another 12-year-old boy whirred by on his motor skates. Hey, Joe, come on, let them sissies play. Joseph showed reluctance and a certain wistfulness. I want to play, he said. You're old, said Mink firmly. Not that old, said Joe sensibly. You'd only laugh and spoil the invasion. To be continued. I'm on the edge of my seat here.
Why don't we try this? I'm going to play on this track. You just, turn my screen off or my mic off, whatever you do, and I'll be back in like however long that song is. Be back in 4 minutes.
Yeah, just ignore us. We're not even here.
Okay. It's not going to sound like. Actually, could be amazing. Let's see.
When you fall down in a hole, you don't care who drops the rope. All you can do is holler and hope someone will. God, maybe that should be on the record. We could use the porch board. We could just take that kick. Sounds like such a heartbeat right now. It fits on the record. God, should we call it Holler and Hope? Holler and Hope. Cruising along. I should put a countdown or something. I guess we got 10 days. If the 13th's the deadline and it's the 3rd, I guess we got 10 days. Artwork, all the mixes, you have to have it mastered. and we have to join a distributor, like a DistroKid or CD Baby or something. I gotta do some research there. If anybody has a hot tip, put all these things in the Pick in the Lockdown room text channel on Discord. It's a good place for notes. Oh, and a new feature that Percy can do while we're recording is if you do %sign notes. You can leave notes about stuff you hear as I'm working so we don't forget them. If you think of something like, oh, I think this should happen or this should happen anytime you're listening, you can just go into the notes or go into the anywhere you are, actually, whether you're on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching from, this command works. So you just do %, notes, and then after that, write a note. I think you need more bass in that section in that one song. And then we can bring them up. So if you followed notes with a note, it would just go into these notes. More kazoo by tech support. We actually did some kazooing last night. Inspired a whole part. I came up with a part on kazoo, but this moment right here, I forgot that happened, sort of. Ben was in here, so I just started playing kazoo, and then I came up with a melody playing kazoo, so then I faked it with horns. It's now a fun moment in the song. So, good note. Very good note.
I think this is going to be real neat, and I think all the tunes have their own individual qualities, and they're all really nice apart from each other. They're sort of, they've got different atmospheres all within themselves, and it still works together really well.
Nice.
Because it's you that binds the thing, really.
What binds it?
Well, your voice.
Oh, right.
The way you sing, the way you write, yeah. Makes it all. I think sort of at night is my melting point at the moment.
Oh, I love that. I love it. I was just about to add some stuff to this song and thought it wouldn't be cool to the archives to do it off air. So it's really not an official show. We'll probably be doing this a lot for the next couple of weeks till we hit our deadline of if something is happening that seems important as far as the record goes. I got to go live. Last night I almost did it too because I was like, oh man, I'm making some big decisions here. I'm making some calls, You got to respect my co-producers that are out there. I'm making some big decisions here without you guys. It's officially unofficial now. That's exactly right. All right, I'm going to try that again, see if I got a little better signal, and see what happens. Once the sun hides its eyes beneath the moon and the starry skies, that's when I rise at night. The world is mine. Understand, it's hard. See, I used to be a rambling man. So fun. Holt. Uh-oh. That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff. We could make it happen. We could make it happen. That's a whole thing. I'm not saying no. Bad time, a bad time to be a clown. It's a bad time. Shall we do this? Should we just dive right in and see what happens? Yeah. Oh, yes, we should. Nice. if they were. Oh, dude. Are you kidding me? Please protect me if it's not a good fit. What would protection mean? Not telling you? Telling you gently? I don't even know how I would protect you. But I already love that. That was so sweet. I'm just soaking that up for a second. Procrastinating a little bit because I know it's going to be really boring once I start tracking this song. Especially the way I'm planning on tracking it. I'm basically going to sketch it first. I'm going to make a template of the song because it's going to be tricky for a few reasons, but one is it changes tempo and time halfway through the song. It's sort of a piano song, and I don't really play piano, but I think I can find something cool for this. There it goes, up in smoke. There it goes, down in flames. There it goes, up in smoke. There it goes. What'd you think of my note when I said I should just kill the fake trumpet entirely and mix from there?
Yeah, I'd say try that, and if you because it's a lot of noise, and I can tell it's not a real trumpet,
right? And
that's sort of yeah,
which is just weird.
if you hear it, but there are some real trombones. I think, oh, that's a shame,
right?
But hey, maybe you're really gonna miss it.
Look who it is. Hey, Pip, what are you up to? She heard the music. It was like, wow, look what y'all did. Can you believe that? Arno just reached out to me while we were listening and wants to pitch in and get us a professional mastering job on the record, which is almost cried saying that, which it does deserve, I think. And a good masterer can work wonders with what we have there. It's a good, raw, real record. Really fun to get it back professionally mastered. Oh, man. Well, what a wonderful night. What a wonderful trip this has all been. Thank you all so much for playing along. I just can't even process just how good that felt. If I'll remember that forever. Didn't expect that. But thank you so much. I have to cut away for a second. All right, I got it. I'm good. Wow. It was just perfect. So we're all in this bubble together now. I've been in this bubble by myself a lot of times. Whenever I get into this bubble by myself, it tends to burst. So either y'all are about to all collectively feel that with me, which will be beautiful, or you've somehow strengthened my bubble beyond belief. Well, I realized, I'm going to have to start putting my colors where my mouth is, hashtag holler and hope. The cover, we love it so much. And I've been encouraging everybody to color it. I'm like, yeah, you should color it, have your kids color it. Print one up, give it to your kid, have them color it. And then share it online. So I printed me out one. Hashtag holler, holler and hope. It's our new record. Hashtag holler and hope. I love the little heart that we have on there from our emojis the Pickle King made on the record. It's so cool. So yeah, play along if you haven't heard the new record yet. It's amazing. It's at nathansland.com. It's called Holler and Hope. It was made right here on the show. It was our love letter to the world. It was, we reached out. We asked for the light. We asked for light. Give us light. And we reached out and they gave us light. And they filled our heart. We turned it into music. And now we're giving it back to you. Thanks for watching. We'll be right back. Here's the lead-off song from Holler and Hope. You got this. Oh, that's the first rough edit. I finally finished coloring mine. There's mine right there. It's a little multimedia. I sort of did some work to it on the computer after I finished coloring it by hand. So fun to do. I hadn't colored in so long, and it was really relaxing, meditative, and nice. Glad I did that. Well, let's sing a few songs before I let you go. Got to tighten up the ending a little bit. Pretty good montage though. I'm so glad I got so many things in there, like Magpie coming up with a holler and hope. Some of that was like looking for a needle in a haystack, specific memories. It's like average length of the show is like 7 hours long or something. Another day, another holler. Anxious to hear what's next in our story. What happens? Well, there's nowhere from here to go. I haven't been a million times. Where my flag has not been planted. Or I haven't lived a million lives. Oh, I slept when the world wept its soul, and everyone settled in behind their eyes. I was riding on a train burning coal, not prepared at all for my surprise. Oh, I messed up the words. God. It's been a while. I'm starting from the top. Cut. Oh, wait, the backdrop's not going to be any good. What should it be, though? Yeah, this will work. All right, everybody. Let me see, show of hands. Everybody that noticed he'd skipped ahead there. All right, we got to look. This is the big night, folks. This is it. We're at Carnegie Hall, right? For some reason, Nathan's chosen to play piano. Of course, really. Really? Really? Whatever. We got you. We got you. Right? Right? We got you. Just don't forget the words, man. Whew. Heavy, baby. All right. Yes, sir. Jeez. Well, there's nowhere from here to go that I haven't been a million times, where my flag has not been planted, where I haven't lived a million lives, even slept when the world wept its soul, and everyone settled in behind their eyes. I was riding on it. No, wait, I did it again. What is it? What am I messing up? Percy! Here, boy, here, boy. There's no place I feel like staying. That's what it is. God. Of course. All right, look, and I can't stress this enough. Okay, all right, look. Everybody, steady. Steady, all right? Deep breath. Exhale. Y'all do realize the task at hand. Nathan's gonna mess this up, all right? But we're the band. We're out here, we have our instruments. We got this. We see the cameras everywhere. We know that we're making history. We know Nathan's gonna screw it up. And we know it's gonna be sweet. God, heavy baby. I don't know about this. Good boy. Thanks, Percy. There's nowhere from here to go. There's no place I feel like staying. You know, let's now that we're in this deep of a hole, let's go ahead and see if we can find water. Well, I thought he was digging himself into a hole there. Next thing you know, we have water. Well, there's nowhere from here to go. There's no place I feel like staying. Perhaps I've accomplished my goal, but I got no home and it's cold, I ain't playing. I sat by while the burning man burned, rode by the houses, never my turn. I cracked jokes like eggs on the head of my dog. Now I'm looking for work, held at bay by the fog. And we both know that it's all ready. We both know my eyes are a little closed. We both know that I'm just tired, and that no one like me has ever froze. I just lay down beside one too many who will never know me at all. And now I leave as lonely as autumn leaves fall. And there's nowhere from here to go that I haven't been a million times, where my flag has not been planted, where I haven't lived a million lives, I even slept when the world wept its soul, and everyone just settled in behind their eyes. I was riding on a train burning coal, not prepared at all for my surprise. With my 2 feet, 2 hands and all, I step out onto the sidewalk, stretch a wet finger for the wind, and listen out to hear my call. I've held tight against all the bargain sorrows, and I hollowed out a man for her to fill. Now I'm getting restless in these deep breaths I borrow from the quiet of these dead rolling hills. We'll save one for the kid from Virginia, and roll one for the ladies of the march of dimes. Take one last look from my waking, steal away with my victorious rise. Me, I sat down to a game of cards with the 4 winds. I'm telling you, none of them could deal worth a day. And I was feeling so lucky up till then, but it come round to me and I couldn't even find my hand. Couldn't even find my hand. Now there's nowhere from here to go, but poured from my eyes at the speed of light. Oh, the ground beneath me is shaking, and I'm as still as the stars in the night. Oh, November, you're so funny. I bet you won't even recognize me in the spring. No, I bet I'll be there with my honey, dripping all over everything. That's how it goes. Thank you, Percy. Saved the day. Oh man, so much gold gifts. I can't do the acoustic and the gifts at the same time. Two of me. Why isn't there 2 of me? Oh, but there are 2 of you, son. There are 2 of you. There are 2 wolves. You are man, you are woman. You are 2 wolves, yin and yang. Well, then why can't I be the Everly Brothers then? Man, look at all this gold. What to do with it? What to do with it? We just need to start playing something like this so we can check it out. I'm mad. I'm mad. Uh, That's dirty, all right.
Oh my god.
Snel te...
Aw. All right, we'll just let that roll for a second while we find out what's next in our story. All right, so the boy on the motor skates. These motor skates, huh? This owl is on some motor skates right now. I'll tell you that much. Look at him go on his motor skates. So the boy on the motor skates made a rude lip noise. Come on, Joe. Them and their fairies, nuts. Joseph walked off slowly. He kept looking back, all down the block. Mink was already busy again. She made a kind of apparatus with her gathered equipment and had appointed another little girl with a pad and pencil to take down notes in painful, slow scribbles. Their voices rose and fell in the warm sunlight. All around them the city hummed, the streets lined with good green and peaceful trees. Only the wind made a conflict across the city, across the country, across the continent. In 1,000 other cities there were trees and children and avenues, businessmen in their quiet offices taping their voices or watching televisions. Televisors. Oh, slipped. Taping their voices or watching televisors. Rockets hovered like darning needles in the blue sky. There was the universal quiet conceit and easiness of men accustomed to peace, quite certain there would never be trouble again. Arm in arm, men all over earth were a united front. The perfect weapons were held in equal trust by all nations. A situation of incredibly beautiful balance had been brought about. There were no traitors among men, no unhappy ones, no disgruntled ones. Therefore, the world was based upon a stable ground. Sunlight illuminated half the world, and the trees drowsed in a tide of warm air. Mink's mother, from her upstairs window, gazed down. The children, she looked upon them and shook her head. Well, they'd eat well, sleep well, and be in school on Monday. Bless their vigorous little bodies. She listened. Mink talked earnestly to someone near the rose bush. though there was no one there. These odd children and the little girl, what was her name? Anna? Anna took notes on a pad. First, Mink asked the rosebush a question, then called the answer to Anna. Triangle, said Mink. What's a said Anna with difficulty. Angle. Never mind. How you spell it? Asked Anna. T-R-I, spelled Mink slowly, then snapped. Oh, spell it yourself. She went on to other words. Beam, she said. I haven't got triangle down yet. Well, hurry. Mink's mother leaned out the upstairs window. A-N-G-L-E, and spelled down at Anna. Oh, thanks, Miss Morris, said Anna. Certainly, said Mink's mother, and withdrew, laughing to dust the hall with an electro-duster magnet. The voices wavered on the shimmery air. Beam, said Anna, fading. 497 A and B and X, said Mink, far away seriously. And a fork and a string and a hexagonal. At lunch, Mink gulped milk at one toss and was at the door. Her mother slapped the table. You sit back down, commanded Miss Morris. Hot soup in a minute. She poked a red button on the kitchen butler, and 10 seconds later, something landed with a bump in the rubber receiver. Miss Morris opened it, took out a can with a pair of aluminum holders, unsealed it and with a flick, and poured hot soup into a bowl. During all this, Mink fidgeted. Hurry, Mom. This is a matter of life and death. Oh. All right. To be continued. Oh, God. Am I going to get through this thing? So is that really good radio or just really bad TV? Which was that? Fly like a owl. Hoo, hoo, hoo. I'll tell you who. Stephanie Hatfield, that's who. Here's In Those Woods.
Hippie fiasco.
Relatively new song from Stephanie Hatfield.
Close your eyes, tell me what you see. This I want to know, not reality. What you smell, what you breathe. Close your eyes, tell me what you see. Pull me in, leave me be, I can't feel a thing. Rain falls, skies dark, wind quit howling. fractured into pieces, too small to retrieve. What is left is what I believe. Pull me in, leave me be. I can't feel a thing. Rain falls, skies dark, wind quit howling. I hear you now, I heard you then. Be it still, be it calm, deliver me an end. Called into the mountains, twilight called back. I leaned into the stillness, blackness crossed my path, my path, my path. You once a child, ramping through those woods. No one had yet said what couldn't or could. Coyote hair, nothing's better good. Close your eyes, find me a place in those woods. Pull me in, leave me be. I can't feel a thing. Rain falls, skies dark, wind quit howling. I hear you now, I heard you then. Be it still, be it calm, deliver me an end. Deliver me an end. Deliver me an end. Deliver me
So good. And I feel like I owe it to you to I mean we're sort of coming to the end of the show. We're past the the tipping point. But I don't know if I should finish the story or just sing songs. So you guys can decide that one. We need an easy way to take a poll. That's I'll tell you that much. That's all anybody needs. Easy way to take a poll. Does Facebook have that feature? Take a poll. All right, we have a vote for the story. Oh, and in this corner. And in this corner, we have the story. The story came to play. I don't have two hands. Who would be the songs? I'm just biding time for the poll. Biding my time. Is that it? What's that mean, biding? I bet Percy knows. Let's see. Hey, Percy. I always get Percy's attention with a percentage sign. There it is. Percentage. In this case, define. Hey, Percy, define biding. A Chadic language spoken in northern Nigeria? Did I not say it right? Did I not spell it right? Biding my time. What is it? Oh, I just typed in percentage Biden. Percy's like, huh? That's not a treat. Oh, well, never mind. I'll quit biding my time then. All right, I think this is the mother talking. I was the same way at your age. Always life and death. I know. Mink banged away at the soup. Slow down, said Mom. Can't, said Mink. Drill's waiting for me. Who's Drill? What a peculiar name, said Mom. You don't know him, said Mink. A new boy in the neighborhood? Asked Mom. He's new, all right, said Mink. She started on her second bowl. Which one is Drill? Asked Mom. He's around, said Mink evasively. You'll make fun. Everybody pokes fun. Gee, darn. Is Drill shy? Yes, no, in a way. Gosh, Mom, I gotta run if we want to have the invasion. Who's invading what? Martians invading Earth. Well, not exactly Martians. They're, I don't know, from up. She pointed with her spoon. And inside, said Mom, touching Mink's feverish brow. Mink rebelled. You're laughing. You'll kill Drill and everybody. I didn't mean to, said Mom. Drill's a Martian? No, he's, well, maybe from Jupiter or Saturn or Venus. Anyway, he's had a hard time. I imagine, said Miss Morris, hid her mouth behind her hand. They couldn't figure a way to attack Earth. We're impregnable, said Mom in a mock seriousness. That's the word Drill used. That was the word, Mom. My, Drill's a brilliant little boy. 2-bit words. They couldn't figure out a way to attack, Mom, Drill says. He says in order to make a good fight, you gotta have a new way of surprising people. That way you win. And he says, also you gotta have help from your enemy. A fifth column, said Mom. Yeah, that's what Drill said. And they couldn't figure a way to surprise Earth or get help. No wonder. We're pretty darn strong, Mom laughed, cleaning up. Mink sat there staring at the table, seeing what she was talking about. Until one day, whispered Mink melodramatically, they thought of children. Well, Miss Morris brightly. And they thought of how grown-ups are so busy they never look under rose bushes or on lawns. Only for snails or fungus. And then there's something about dim-dims. Dim-dims? Dim dimensions. Dimensions? 4 of them. And there's something about kids under 9 and imagination. It's really funny to hear Drill talk. Ms. Morris was tired. Well, it must be funny. you're keeping Drill waiting now. It's getting late in the day, and if you want to have your invasion before supper, you better jump. Oh, wait. Invasion before your supper bath, you'd better jump. Do I have to take a bath? Growled Mink. You do. Why is it children hate water? No matter what age you live in, children hate water behind the ears. Drill says I won't have to take baths, said Mink. Oh, he does he? He told all the kids that. No more baths. And we can... stay up till 10 o'clock and go to 2 televisor shows on Saturday instead of 1. Well, Mr. Drill better put his mind his P's and Q's. I'll call up his mother, and Mink went to the door. We're having trouble with guys like Pete Burtz and Dale Jarrett. They're growing up. They make fun. They're worse than parents. They just won't believe in drill. They're so snooty because they're growing up. You'd think they'd know better. They were little only a couple of years ago. I hate them worst. We'll kill them first. Ooh. Your father and I last? Drill says you're dangerous. Know why? Because you don't believe in Martians. They're going to let us run the world. Well, not just us, but the kids over in the next block, too. I might be queen. She opened the door. Mom? Yes? What's logic? Logic? Why, dear, logic is knowing what things are true and not true. He mentioned that, said Mink. And what's impressionable? It took her a minute to say it. Why, it means, her mother looked to the floor, laughing gently, it means to be a child, dear. Thanks for lunch, Mink ran out, then stuck her hand back in. Mom, I'll be sure you won't hurt much, really. Well, thanks, said Mom. Slam went the door. At 4 o'clock, the audio visor buzzed. Ms. Morris flipped the tab. Hello, Helen, she said in a welcome. Hello, Mary. How are things in New York? Fine. How are things in Scranton? You look tired. So do you. The children underfoot, said Helen. Ms. Morris sighed. Ah, my Mink, too. The super invasion. Helen laughed. Are your kids playing that game, too? Lord, yes. Tomorrow it'll be geometrical jacks and motorized hopscotch. Were we this bad when we were kids in 48? Worse. Japs and Nazis. Don't know how my parents put up with me. Tomboy. Parents learned to shut their ears. A silence. What's wrong, Mary? Asked Helen. Ms. Morris's eyes were half closed. Her tongue slid slowly, thoughtfully over her lower lip. She jerked. Oh, nothing. Just thought about that. Shutting ears and such. Never mind. Where were we? My boy Tim's got a crush on some guy named Drill, I think it was. That must be a new password. Mink likes him, too. Didn't know it had got this as far as New York. Word of mouth, I imagine. Looks like a scrap drive. I talked to Josephine, and she said her kids, that's in Boston, are wild in this new game. It's sweeping the country. At this moment, Mink trotted into the kitchen to gulp a glass of water. Ms. Morris turned. How are things going? Almost finished, said Mink. Swell, said Miss Morris. What's that? A yo-yo, said Mink. Watch. She flung the yo-yo down its string. Reaching the end, it vanished. See? Said Mink. Oop. Dibbling her fingers, she made the yo-yo reappear and zip up the string. Do that again, said her mother. Can't. 0 hours, 5 o'clock. Bye. Mink exited, zipping her yo-yo. On the audio visor, Helen laughed. Tim brought one of those yo-yos in this morning, but when I got curious, he said he wouldn't show it to me, and when I tried to work it, finally it wouldn't work. You're not impressionable, said Miss Morris. What? Never mind. Something I thought of. Can I help you, Helen? I wanted to get that black and white cake recipe. The hour drowsed by. The day waned. The sun lowered in the peaceful blue sky. Shadows lengthened on the green lawns. The laughter and excitement continued. One little girl ran away crying. Ms. Morris came out the front door. Mink, was that Peggy Ann crying? Mink was bent over in the yard near the rose bush. Yeah, she's a scare baby. We won't let her play now. She's getting too old to play. I guess she grew up all of a sudden. Is that why she cried? Nonsense. Give me a civil answer, young lady, or inside you come. Mink whirled in consternation mixed with irritation. I can't quit now. It's almost time. I'll be good. I'm sorry. Did you hit Peggy Ann? No, honest. You ask her. It was something, well, she's just a scaredy pants. The ring of children drew in around Mink, where she scowled at her work with spoons and a kind of square-shaped arrangement of hammers and pipes. There and there, murmured Mink. What's wrong? Said Miss Morris. Drill's stuck, halfway. If we could only get him all the way through, it'll be easier, but then all the others could come through after him. Can I help? No, thanks. I'll fix it. All right. I'll call you for your bath in half an hour. I'm tired of watching you. She went in and sat in the electric, relaxing chair, sipping a little beer from a half-empty glass. The chair massaged her back. Children, children. Children in love and hate side by side. Sometimes children loved you, hated you, all in half a second. Strange children. Did they ever forget or forgive the whippings and the harsh, strict words of command, she wondered. How can you ever forget or forgive those over and above you, those tall and silly dictators? Time passed. A curious, waiting silence came upon the street, deepening. 5 o'clock. A clock sang softly somewhere in the house in a quiet, musical voice. 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock, time's a-wasting. 5 o'clock, and purred away into silence. 0 hour. Ms. Morris chuckled in her throat. 0 hour. A beetle car hummed into the driveway. Mr. Morris, Mrs. Morris smiled. Mr. Morris got out of the beetle, locked it, and called hello to Mink at her work. Mink ignored him. He laughed and stood for a moment waiting, watching the children. Then he walked up the front steps. Hello, darling. Hello, Henry. She strained forward on the edge of the chair, listening. The children were silent, too silent. He emptied his pipe, refilled it. Swell day, makes you glad to be alive. Buzz. What's that? Asked Henry. I don't know. She got up suddenly, her eyes widening. She was going to say something. She stopped it. Ridiculous. Her nerves jumped. Those children haven't anything dangerous out there, have they? She said. Nothing but pipes and hammers. Why? Nothing electrical? Heck no. I looked. She walked to the kitchen, and the buzzing continued. Just the same, you better go tell them to quit. It's after 5. Tell them. Her eyes widened and narrowed. Tell them to put off their invasion until tomorrow. She laughed nervously. The buzzing grew louder. What are they up to? I'd better go look, all right. Oh, that was maybe the Henry. What are they up to? I better go look, all right. The explosion! The house shook with dull sound. There were other explosions in other yards, on other streets. Involuntarily, Miss Morris screamed, "Up this way!" She cried senselessly, knowing no sense, no reason. Perhaps she saw something from the corners of her eyes. Perhaps she smelled a new odor or heard a new noise. There was no time to argue with Henry to convince him. Let him think her insane, yes, insane. Shrieking, she ran upstairs. He ran after her to see what she was up to. "In the attic!" she screamed. "That's where it is!" It was only a poor excuse to get him in the attic in time. Oh, God, in time. Another explosion outside. The children screamed with delight, as if at a great fireworks display. "It's not in the attic," cried Henry. "It's outside." "No, no," wheezing, gasping. She fumbled at the attic door. "I'll show you, Henry, I'll show you." They tumbled into the attic. She slammed the door, locked it, took the key, threw it into a far, cluttered corner. She was babbling wild stuff now. It came out of her, all the subconscious suspicion and the fear that had gathered secretly all afternoon and fermented like a wine in her. All the little revelations and knowledges and sense that had bothered her all day and which had logically and carefully and sensibly rejected and censored. Now it exploded in her and shook her to bits. There, she said, sobbing against the door. "We're safe until tonight. Maybe we can sneak out. Maybe we can escape." Henry blew up, too, but for another reason. "Are you crazy? Why did you throw that key away? Damn it, honey." Yes, I'm crazy if it helps, but please stay here with me." "I don't know how the hell I can get out." "Quiet. They'll hear us." "Oh, God. They'll find us soon enough." Below them, Mink's voice. The husband stopped. There was a great universal humming and sizzling, a screaming and giggling. Downstairs, the audio televisor buzzed and buzzed insistently, alarmingly, violently. "Is that Helen calling?" thought Ms. Morris. "And is she calling about what I think she's calling about?" Footsteps came into the house, heavy footsteps. "Who's coming into my house?" demanded Henry angrily. "Who's tramping around down there?" Almost there. Heavy feet. 20, 30, 40, 50 of them. 50 persons crowding into the house, the humming, the giggling of the children. "This way," cried Mink. "Below!" "Who's downstairs?" roared Henry. "Who's there?" "Hush! Oh, no," said the wife, weakly holding him. "Please be quiet. They might go away." "Mom?" called Mink. "Dad?" A pause. "Where are you?" Heavy footsteps, heavy, very heavy footsteps came up the stairs, Mink leading them. "Mom?" A hesitation. "Dad?" A waiting, a silence, humming. Footsteps towards the attic. Mink's first. They trembled together in silence in the attic. Mr. and Mrs. Morris, for some reason, the electric humming, the queer cold light suddenly visible under the door crack, the strange odor and the alien sound of eagerness in Mink's voice finally got through to Henry Morris, too. He stood shivering in the dark silence, his wife beside him. "Mom? Dad!" Footsteps, a little humming sound. The attic lock melted. The door opened. Mink peered inside. Tall, blue shadows behind her. "Peekaboo," said Mink. Well, how about that? Peekaboo. Peekaboo, said Mink. Man, it's hard to read. Goodness. Well, thanks for indulging that. Thanks for watching tonight. Time to find a leaving song. So that was Ray Bradbury. It's a book. This would be amazing amazing series on one of the streaming services. Just a whole season of Ray Bradbury's The Illustrated Man portrayed. But I'm not sure when this book was written, but that's what that is. Ray Bradbury, the 0 Hour from The Illustrated Man by Ray Bradbury. Fun, quick reads. No, that was Stephanie Hatfield. Her husband is Bill Palmer. They live in New Mexico and Texas. 1951, that book was written. Yeah, I was getting a little scared there. I was like, oh man, these kids are going to kill everybody. Isn't it a great track? Glad to have that in the files. Don't tell anything in the sky I'm down. Here I'll hide beneath the trees, down by the water, but don't tell the waves. I don't want them to know I can see. The big lights, they're hardly worth knowing. You can't trust them, it just hurts to see them shine. The big lights, they've always been glowing, just messing with the people's minds. I'm a guitar, I'm a daydream, baby, on the end of a fishing pole, trading places with the cattails and the June bugs, where everyone knows. Everyone knows. The big lights, hardly worth knowing. You can't touch them, it just hurts to see them shine. The big lights, yeah, they're hardly worth knowing. They're just messing with the people's minds. Passover morning, and the coals are still glowing. I'm still in a bit of a haze. There they go, wonder where they're going these days. These days. big lights. They're hardly worth knowing, you can't touch them, it just hurts to see them shine. The big lights, yeah, they've always been glowing, just messing with the people's mind. All right, see you soon. Keep up the good work out there, America. God, I almost feel like ending with the anthem instead of the poem, because I've had so much spoken word tonight. Two competing traditions. National anthem with a poem over it? No, I don't know. We need to take a poll. We need an easy way to take a poll, I think. Everybody needs that. I still haven't decided. I was really out. All right, poem it is. It's a good tradition. It's a tough one. Does there have to be rules? Does there have to be rules?
The tulips are too excitable. It is winter here. Look how white everything is. How quiet. How snowed in.
Oh, I just had to pause to say we did end with Ferlinghetti last night in his honor. I guess you know, he deserves 2 nights in a row, right? Last night was underwear. Tonight he talks baseball.
It's the World Series, and this is a former World Series team. Baseball canto. Watching baseball, sitting in the sun, eating popcorn, reading Ezra Pound. And wishing Juan Marichal would hit a hole right through the Anglo-Saxon tradition in the first canto and demolish the barbarian invaders from Los Angeles. When the San Francisco Giants take the field and everybody stands up to the national anthem with some Irish tenor's voice piped over the loudspeakers, with all the players struck dead in their places and the white umpires like Irish cops in their black suits and little black caps pressed over their hearts, standing straight and still like at some funeral of a Blarney bartender. And all facing east, as if expecting some great white hope or the founding fathers to appear on the horizon. But Willie Mays appears instead in the bottom of the first, and a roar goes up as he clouts the first one into the sun and takes off like a foot runner from Thebes. The ball is lost in the sun and maidens wail after him, but he keeps running through the Anglo-Saxon epic. And Tito Fuentes comes up, looking like a bullfighter in his tight pants and small pointed shoes. And the right field bleachers go mad with Chicanos and blacks and Brooklyn beer drinkers. Sweet Tito, sock it to him, sweet Tito. And sweet Tito puts his foot in the bucket and smacks one that don't come back at all and flees around the bases like he's escaping from the United Fruit Company. As the gringo dollar beats out the pound. And sweet Tito beats it out like he's beating out usury, not to mention fascism and anti-Semitism. And Juan Marichal comes up, and the Chicano bleachers go loco again as Juan belts the first fastball out of sight and rounds first and keeps going, and rounds second and rounds third and keeps going, and hits pay dirt to the roars of the grungy populace. As some nut presses the backstage panic button for the tape-recorded national anthem again to save the situation. But it don't stop nobody this time in their revolution round the loaded white bases. In this last of the great Anglo-Saxon epics in the territorio libre of baseball.